Hello and welcome to the Amy
and Kyle
Adventures Podcast, also known as the AKA Podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about all things marriage, mental health and cycling. And I'm sorry we've not done one in a little while. We've been really, really busy. And to be honest, every time we say, we need to do the podcast tonight, it gets to like 6 p.m. and we just look at each other and say, I can't be bothered.
I just want to chill.
Yeah. Even though this is chilled.
Yeah, it is. But we've had a lot on, so by the time you've done everything, you just want to sit down
eat and
relax.
Sleep.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we've done loads since the last podcast. We won't talk about all of it, otherwise we'll be here all night. We'll just talk about last weekend.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if the videos will be out on YouTube when this podcast goes out. If they are, enjoy. If not, you've got them to look forward to. This weekend we basically went down to the New Forest for the Garmin ride out.
We did.
Which is an annual charity ride that Garmin put on. We've never been before. Never been to the New Forest before.
No, beautiful place.
So really excited about it. And I thought, why drive there when I can ride there? Because it was 194 miles. So, I'm so normal. I just thought that's a day's ride. So let's go.
Yeah, it's all right for some.
Yeah, Kyle, you drove, didn't you?
I wish I'd ridden.
I know. But it was good training for Tour de France. That's the reason. To be fair, I think even if I wasn't doing Tour de France, I still probably would have ridden there. Because I do like to ride all day.
Yeah.
Just to,
And it is your job now.
It is my job now. Chester's grumbling, he's agreeing with me. But it was a really nice ride. I basically went from Derby to Bournemouth. So 194 miles, 311 kilometres. It took me 12 hours and 11 minutes, which I was very happy about because I always like to beat the little Garmin. At the start of a ride, your Garmin estimates how long it's going to take you. And it said 12 hours, 25 minutes. So I beat it, which I was happy about. Although my aim with that ride was not about speed. It was literally just get a long day in, knowing that I was going to be riding back to back for a few days, which is what I'll be doing in France. So it felt good to do it, but 30 miles from the end, I did not feel too good.
Yeah, unsurprising.
What did I look like when I got to the hotel, Kyle?
I think the word for it would be bedraggled. You look like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards. No, well, you still look good, but you look very tired.
I did have a headwind all day, and the problem is that I did fill up my water twice, but then I ran out of water like 20 miles from the end. And then I think I just didn't eat enough in that last bit of the ride. And I got to like 15 miles to go. And I just, all you can think about is food. But I had nothing savoury left.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I can't eat one more sweet thing, otherwise I'm going to turn into a sweet. You just think, it just made me feel sick. So I literally got there and I was ravenous for something savoury and salty. And I ate some beef jerky.
Nice.
And it hit the spot.
I'm surprised you like that, actually.
I know, because I don't really eat beef very much, but then, I don't know, it's really high protein, it's really, salty, and I saw it.
It's quite an easy snack to eat as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I saw it and I thought, give me that beef. And I ate it. And it was nice. So, yeah, how was your 5-hour drive down, Kyle?
Absolutely horrendous. Never want to be repeated. Yeah, it wasn't ideal. I was working in the morning, and I got home plenty of time and I thought, right, I'm going to set off early. I was thinking this is going to be really nice steady drive down, get my kit and probably surprise and go out and ride a meter.
Yeah, because I was riding, because originally we said, Kyle will get there before me and you'll ride out and meet me. So every cyclist coming the other way in that last 30 miles, I was like, please be Kyle with some water, but it wasn't.
But lo and behold, there was traffic on every motorway I think I went on. Lorries with punctures and all sorts of stuff, so yeah, it wasn't a very pleasant drive down, but it was all worth it.
You looked a bit bedraggled as well, to be fair, when you got there.
Yes.
You looked a bit hangry.
All I was thinking the whole time I was driving there, I was thinking, I wish I was biking.
Yeah.
Be a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, I did feel bad for you, to be fair. But
I've got work.
It's the bricky life, isn't it? Yeah. You love your job, though, don't you?
I like my job, yeah. I'd much prefer to be on my bike.
I know.
But that's life.
C'est la vie, as they say in France.
Yeah. And I've created my own busyness recently, so...
You've been doing the extension and all sorts. So one word I'll say, mud. I'm going to save that for a little while, though, for the Moan Minute. So we'll come on to that.
So you're going in on me on the Moan Minute, basically.
I've got 2 things for the Moan Minute.
All aimed at me?
No, one is, one isn't.
Perfect.
Anyway, so then the next day we had the Garmin ride out, which was 50 miles. So bearing in mind I'd had over 12 hours on the bike on Friday. Friday. Yeah. And then Saturday was the ride out, which was 50 miles. I thought, this will be nice, little recovery ride. 18 miles an hour later, pulled along by this fella, plus another guy, Dan, and some pros.
Yeah.
There was some female pro cyclists there who were lovely. Caris Lloyd, she was one of the guests. She's the youngest pro rider in the peloton. She's only 18. She's junior champ.
I think she was 3-time junior world champion on the track or something.
Amazing. And she's so lovely.
Yeah, really.
So I was riding with her quite a bit. And we got to this climb, and Dan Jones, he's got a really good YouTube channel, thought, oh, it'd be a good idea to do a race up this climb with Caris.
It'd be a good test.
So you three shot off up the climb. I was like, I'm not doing it because I'm meant to be recovering today and my legs were full of lactate. So I just watched them go. But Caris got a power PB for 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Like over 1,000 watts, something mental.
1,280 if I remember rightly.
And Dan's heart rate went up to 194.
196, I believe.
Plumbing heck. And you got dropped, didn't you, Kyle? But
no, I started at the back. The idea was to watch them go up.
no, I've got confirmation of that's not true.
Why?
Because I edited the YouTube video today.
What? And I was right behind them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
You were
I did.
literally on Dan's wheel.
Was I?
Yeah.
All right.
And I watched it because I thought, oh, Kyle's going to be upset.
Well,
it
was a bit of a mishap.
give me a little
actually,
bit of,
because basically the hill that he'd chosen, they said start, and it wasn't actually the hill.
Yeah, I watched on the video. He said start, and you all went.
Yeah, and then
Same
basically
time.
we all realised as well. So it was like a fair playing field, but we'd all noticed that you'd gone up the hill, and then it was just a bit of a descent, and then the actual hill started. So by the time a few of us had started the actual hill, we'd just blown too many gaskets. And,
You did well though. You still got a really good power this.
But
Video,
no, I started actually catching him on the actual proper hill.
if it was a bit longer.
If it was a bit longer hills are probably better for me. I've lost a lot of top end speed, I think. Top end power.
Do you think you're some sort of pro?
No, but we saw it on the VO2 testing and stuff like that, didn't we?
Yeah. But you've been so busy recently. And also, our cycling is not about speed and power. I know we're talking about power now. I think, it's nice to see. I do like looking at my numbers sometimes. I like having those aims and things. But the riding we do, the main reason I look at my power is to make sure that I'm maintaining and making sure that I'm not burning myself out. Because if I go and try and do, really high watts, then I'm just going to burn myself out, and I've got to keep going for Tour de France. It's 28 days in a row, so I've got to make sure that I'm just maintaining a low power. Doesn't matter about my speed; it's just about finishing each day, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. But it is fun sometimes to go for a little sprint and see what you can do.
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually because Dan's come on a hell of a long way.
Dan's come on so much,
But he is actually a little bit bigger than me potentially. I think he is slightly bigger than me, so I expect his power to be higher.
he's not bigger than you,
Weight wise, he is.
is he?
We was talking, yeah. So
Is he taller than you?
he's a fair
he's
bit taller than
isn't
me,
he?
isn't he?
Yeah.
So it's expected.
Yeah.
But he's come on so much, he's so strong now. I remember when we first rode with him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just when you're doing so much base and so much endurance, you are naturally going to lose that top end.
Yeah.
power.
We're not training for any sprints. We're training for marathons here.
Yeah.
So, and also you've been so busy, Kyle. I'm surprised you even went for the effort. To be honest with you, I was pretty happy just to watch.
Yeah,
you
but you
walk
know
up
what
there.
I'm like. I do like an effort.
To be fair, inside I was itching to do it, but I was like, I can't. My legs were full of lactate, and I think the mistake I made on Friday, which I need to get better at, is not stretching after the ride. I'm so bad at I'll be on the ride. I'm like, when I get back, I'm gonna have a snack, stretch, and have a shower. And then I get back, I'm just like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
But it's so bad for you. I need to get my foam roller, be really strict. I was strict today. I did stretch after my session. Did a heat training session this morning. But we're going to do our next podcast will be all about the Tour de France because we put a little thing out on Instagram for people to ask questions. So the next episode we do, we'll be answering the questions. So I'll talk about that then. But yeah, so after that little effort.
No, I'm actually smiling about the effort bit now.
Yeah, it was funny.
I've just remembered something.
What?
So me and Chris, who works for Garmin.
Yeah. Well, he's lovely, he is.
So me, him and Dan were basically messing around a bit and having a bit of fun, doing a few little efforts and stuff. And I said to Chris, I'm just going to start letting Dan set my wheel, but then start pushing the power. These were gradual hills.
Yeah.
And start pushing down the power until he slightly slides off the back, knowing that he was doing this effort with Caris.
Yeah.
So then I'd let him get back on wheel and then put the power down again. And
That's
I said,
mean.
no, because Chris said basically, Dan, don't listen to him because he's working for Caris. Because I thought I could see if I could get him to blow a gasket before we went for the effort up the hill.
Oh, that's not very nice.
No, but it was It's helped me out more than anything because he still beat him up the hill.
You still beat your car, so it didn't really work, did it?
No, not really.
I don't like these tactics. I was sold a social ride.
Yeah, but it makes it fun to do stuff like
It was
that.
fun, but I absolutely loved it. And to be fair, I got to the end and I didn't feel like we'd pushed all the way around.
None of us were tired.
I just didn't expect to go that fast. I thought, but then at the same time, I wasn't feeling tired. So I suppose it shows the coaching training is paying off.
It is.
But my number one priority in all my cycling is always to enjoy it and have fun. And I always say it doesn't matter how fast you are. It doesn't matter what watch you put out. As long as you're out riding and you're enjoying it, then that's the main thing. And I think, yeah, that's what it's about, just enjoying yourself. And some people enjoy putting themselves in a pain cave.
Yeah.
Some people don't. But,
I like a mixture.
Yeah. I think every long ride I do, there's always hard moments when I think, why on earth am I doing this? But then it gives you that sense of like satisfaction at the end of the day for me. When I've pushed myself or I've worked hard, at the end of the day, I feel good for it. But yeah, and then the next day we then drove from the New Forest to Exeter. Oh, before we go on to that though, Kyle, who did you meet at the New Forest?
Someone I was extremely excited to meet.
Yeah. Hello, Chester.
Amy's met him a couple of times before.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ben Foster.
Ben Foster,
what
aka
a legend.
Cycling goalkeeper.
GK. Yeah, goalkeeper basically. But I can't believe how big he is in person.
Just for people that don't know, because I'm not...
Ex-Man United, West Brom, Wrexham.
Because I know nothing about football, so...
Yeah, he's been about Premier League level goalkeeper and England. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolute legend. But do you know when you see him on that? I've watched a lot of his podcasts and stuff like that. And obviously I've watched him throughout his career. Looking at him on the TV or on a screen, he doesn't look that big.
He's
but
so tall.
When I stood next to him, I felt like a small schoolboy.
He's so tall.
He's just massive, isn't he?
Yeah, he wasn't riding because he broke something.
Rotator cuff. He's pulled some ligaments or something, snapped some ligaments.
But Kyle was very excited because he does watch our YouTube.
Yeah, and he was like going, "Oh, mate, you're so good." Like I watch YouTube. I was like,
Kyle was dying inside.
I should be saying this to you.
He was so excited.
Literally like inside.
Because I met Ben Foster last November with the Garmin thing.
Yeah.
And I got him to do an autograph for you, Kyle. And you were really excited. And now you've met him. So that was really nice. But yeah, the next day we then drove down to Exeter, which is like a 2-hour drive, for a social ride with Pinarello and a place called Core Bike Fit. And we decided not to YouTube it. Because sometimes when you're doing a social ride, you just want to actually talk to people.
Yeah.
So you can't film everything. But I think that ride was just so nice because there was this really lovely woman on the ride and she said that her aim was to get up this hill on the ride. She'd never got up before. She'd only been cycling since October. And we got to this hill and she was really struggling up it. Kyle, you went off powering up it, didn't you? Like
not at the start. Not at the start.
And then you went for it.
At the start, I stayed with people and spoke to people. And then I thought, well, if everyone else is going to go for a go, I'll have a bit of fun.
Yeah, a lot of people were going for it. Sorry, Chess has literally just put his bum
But you did a really nice
on
thing.
me on the sofa. And I thought, right, I'm going to stay with her. I'm going to get her up this hill. And there was many moments on the way up when she was really wanting to quit, I could tell. But I was like, no, come on, you can and you will, you can and you will. And she got to the top and it was just like, it was like a bit emotional because she was like so happy to get to the top. But she'd worked so hard to get up there. And I think it's so easy, like when you've been riding for a long time, to forget how hard it is when you start. And like when you're in a group, just being, if it's a social ride, just remembering if you're on a social ride, then just wait for people.
Yeah, I think it's a case of, it's not nice to make people feel like they're not quick enough or they're not, like they're slowing people down. Ride, especially in a social setting, you should be
Chester being sick. Chester?
No, he's just being silly.
Sorry.
You should be, especially in a social setting, you should be riding as a group, talking to people.
I think there's certain rides, like, if it's advertised as a club ride fast session,
and
like
you can
regroup
at top hills and stuff.
Then obviously, like, you go for it. And I think always, everyone has to go at their own pace up a hill because it's sometimes harder to go slower than you want to and things, as long as you wait at the top. But in general, like on a social ride, it's nice to all stay together and just support each other, and that's what it's about. And I think it's easy to forget when you've been riding a while that, I was there once, and how would I feel if I was being left?
Oh, no, I won't forget.
It was just really nice, and it was a really nice ride, and met some really nice people. So,
and it was nice to see her get up the hill, and she was really proud of herself, and it was really nice.
And she was fast.
And she was fast, like.
Yeah, she wasn't slow.
I think she was hard on herself.
Yeah.
Because you could see some people were a little bit quicker, but
there's always going to be someone faster than you, though.
But to say how long she's been cycling, she was really getting up those hills fast.
Yeah.
Like, far faster than I was.
And I always say there's always going to be someone faster than you.
Of course there is.
Like, and I'm a bit harsh on myself. Like, when I see people going up a hill faster than me, especially at the minute, because every ride I go and I'm thinking about Tour de France. I get this thing in my head where I'm like, oh, if I'm struggling now, how on earth am I going to do that? But then I just have to like remind myself, I'm me, I'm not them. Just focus on yourself, because as a famous quote says, I don't know who says it, but comparison is the thief of joy. Do you like that one, Kyle?
You. Socrates.
So stop comparing to others and just focus on yourself. Chester's currently putting his bum in my face. Why is he being like this? Chester, you want some attention?
He always gets needy when we start doing the podcast.
For some reason, when we do the podcast, he starts wanting attention, just scratching
I think it's because he realises that we're talking to each other.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this is not normal.
He's like, well, it is normal, actually.
Sometimes we just sit in silence watching telly.
Usually when we're both drained, but...
Yeah, he's giving me a little side eye now, aren't you,
I think he's feeling left out.
You feeling left out, little Bo? But yeah, it was a really nice weekend and some good miles in the legs, so...
Great weekend, yeah. Really
a great weekend. Got to meet Katie Kookaburra as well. That was nice. Who else was there? Chris Hall.
Cade.
Francis Cade was there.
Well, Cade Media's a team.
Cade Media, yeah. It was great, really.
Yeah, Ben Foster.
So
obviously not.
It was lovely.
There's so many people that watch our YouTube and stuff.
Yeah, loads of people came up to us. And it was just like, I don't know, it was really nice that people came up.
And we met a young boy that had got his first ever road bike.
Yeah, that was nice. And it was just a really nice community, and it just makes you realise, like, before I started cycling, I had no idea this, like, really nice group and community. I mean, not all cyclists are nice. You'll probably get some idiots, like you do with non-cyclists. But
I've met a few cyclists that aren't the best, but...
Yeah, we've met a few of them along the way, but it was just really nice. Everyone was so lovely, and it just makes you realise, like, that I'm so grateful to be part of this community. And I'm sometimes a bit like, you know, when we were in the group, Kyle, there was like some moments where I was riding next to people and some moments where I was just riding on my own, like behind you and Dan.
Yeah.
I know this sounds really antisocial, but I quite liked it when I was on my own.
Yeah.
Because I'm really, like, I do enjoy chatting to people. I love it when people come up to us. Like, I love to hear, like, people's stories about their cycling, and people, like, I even got a message today from a woman that said she started cycling because of us, and that's just so nice. Like, that's my aim, and, like, she struggles with her mental health as well, and it's helped her. Like, that is my aim, because I started all this because I was at rock bottom, and without cycling, I don't know where I'd be. But I do sometimes, like, when I'm riding along, not that I feel pressured. I find it easier to talk to people when I'm cycling, unless I'm going up a hill. But I sometimes struggle, like, thinking about, like, oh, am I saying the right... I don't know, like, I second guess myself. I mean, you wouldn't know that if you spoke to me.
It a little bit, don't you?
You wouldn't know that if you spoke to me, but I sometimes feel a pressure of, like, what should I say, sort of thing. But I loved it, and it was really nice, and I'm always up for a club ride, so, yeah. Anyway, shall we move on to the Moan Minute? So this is where we have 1 minute to moan about anything we want to moan at.
I think I know where this is going.
Highly recommend, if you're listening at home, if you've got family, friends, do it with them, because it honestly makes you feel better. Get your moan out. Us Brits love to moan, and it makes you feel better after. And there's no, like, you can moan about anything and nobody takes offence to it, unless you're being really mean, which we don't do here. So, Kyle, you can go first. I'll get the time for you. 1 minute to moan. Have you got something? I think I already know what yours is going to be this week.
Do you?
I'll be shocked if it's not this, but... Ready? 3,
Right, it won't be that.
2, 1, action.
My Moan Minute this week is people or companies that promise to deliver by a certain time or certain day, and it's either late or gets rearranged. That really boggles me. That really does grind my gears. So yeah, I don't even need the full minute, but I think I've let out my anger mostly throughout the week. So yeah, that's my Moan Minute.
You only took 25 seconds. I didn't think that was very passionate, but...
It is passionate, but...
What's happened?
I think it was to do with extension stuff when organising that, so...
Things arrive late.
But it did work out in the end.
I thought you were going to moan about the traffic.
Oh.
Because you were stuck in a lot of traffic.
Can I have my second Moan Minute?
Yeah, you can have you've got 35 seconds if you want to carry on.
Well, the rest of me moan then is going on from driving down to Bournemouth and taking an hour and a half longer than it should. And then this morning, they decided to shut one lane of the dual carriageway. So it added 20 minutes to my 25-minute journey to work. Absolutely fuming I was. Especially in the morning, because as we know, I don't like mornings. There you go.
That's good. I thought I did think the traffic would be one.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
No, you're so tired you forgot that you were annoyed about it.
I'm tired tonight.
Anyway, should we move on? Do you want me to do mine?
Yeah, sorry.
You're going to time me?
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to your Moan Minute, to be honest. I think you might need two, by the sounds of things. Right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
My Moan minute is mud in the garden. I got home from a bike ride last week. I was told, oh yeah, we're digging out the footings for the extension. Very grateful to be having an extension. Realise I'm very fortunate to be having that. I am not joking when I say I cannot see the garden. There is a pile of mud about, I don't even know how big it is, but it covers our whole garden.
I can tell you.
How big is it?
15 tonnes.
Yeah, 15 tonnes of mud in the garden. We can't let Chester out in the back garden because it's just full of mud. So every night, every morning, we're going to take him out onto this little grass on the end of our street, first thing and last thing. It's just mud everywhere. I mean, mud is my moan. I just can't deal with it. I look out the back door and I think, what on earth is going on? Where's it going to go? What we're going to do with it? Apparently it's been levelled off, whenever that's going to happen. Then we've got to grow new grass. It's going to take months. And then the other one was traffic because it took us so long to get home. I just wish I was riding my bike home. But yeah, that's it really.
There you go.
I'm just fed up of mud and bits.
Well,
bits in the kitchen floor.
I did say this to you the other week. So she did. This didn't come as a surprise, but I did say this was happening.
Yeah, I know. But I didn't expect that much mud.
She didn't. But in all fairness, you do have to crack a few eggs to make an omelette. And things don't magically just...
Yeah, we crack a few eggs and you put the eggshells in the bin. Not on my garden.
No, we don't want to waste soil.
It doesn't even look like soil. It looks like a load of rocks.
Precious soil, that is. Oh, the rocks will be removed.
Well, good luck with that, because a lot of them...
I'm going to make you a rockery.
I'll throw the rocks somewhere
what do you
in a
think
minute.
of that?
Rockery my...
Yeah.
I say.
Yeah. I don't think you'll approve of that, will you?
No, because it'll probably
Why don't you have
attract
a
a load of
pond?
spiders. No, I don't want a pond, because I know what will happen. Chester will go in there. And our garden's not big enough for one of them anyway. Anywho, one thing that has been improved is because at the weekend at Core Bike Fit, they very kindly gave you some grated cheese in a packet.
They did. So this has solved
my moan minute from the other week of grated cheese everywhere when you grate cheese.
So that is a solution to that.
Although, where is the grated cheese they bought you?
I had some last night.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's good, because I didn't even notice, because there's no gratings anywhere.
Yeah.
Because you normally leave them in the plug, so that's good. So we're very grateful for that.
I'm extremely grateful for that.
And they also gave me chai latte, which was really nice.
Which you really enjoyed.
So we'll definitely go back down to, where was it?
Topsham.
Topsham.
To be precise.
Very posh area.
Very nice
Went
area.
through some very posh
and we went
houses.
we rode past Exmouth Beach, which was absolutely stunning, I thought.
You sound like some sort of archaeologist or something. Why have you gone all posh?
Don't you think?
Well, it was really nice. It was a nice beach.
Well,
for
I've
me,
always loved Cornwall and Devon.
I was more interested in some of the houses we went past. Gee whiz.
No, but I just thought it was a really well
Mansion.
maintained beach.
Oh, I wasn't really looking too much at the beach. I think I was just looking at my bike.
Well, I grew up in Skegness, so I know a well maintained beach when I see one.
But some of the houses were like mansions, weren't they? Seriously.
Yeah, like huge.
It was honestly, like I thought, how many people are living in there? Whenever I cycle past like a big mansion like that with, BMWs, really nice cars, I think, what do they do for a job? And then I also think, I wonder if they get to enjoy their house or whether they're just working all day.
Yeah.
Because they're probably just working
It made
a lot.
my extension look like
It made your extension
a cold
like
store.
one grain of sand.
Yeah, it would be like that would be like the utility room for theirs.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Then they'd have a lot of cleaning to do, although they probably have
yeah, I
cleaners.
prefer not to have all that cleaning.
No, they probably have cleaners, let's be honest.
Maybe we'll
They probably have staff.
I've got a cleaner.
Yeah, me. Anyway, we'll move on to mental health. Kyle, how's your mental health doing? One word to describe your current mental state this week.
Busy. That is my mental state, by the way. That's not how I'm feeling. That's my mental state. Busy. There's a lot whirling around in my head. There's a lot of things going on, and I feel like it's juggling. I feel like I'm juggling in a minute.
What are you doing to juggle those balls?
Not a lot, really. I just keep tackling one thing at a time.
Yeah.
I feel like I found it quite tough a couple of times because I feel like there's so much going on.
You've been so busy because you've been working and then building the extension.
Plus, like with the cycling and then going doing other stuff.
Yeah. But the gym's finished. So
The gym is finished and it looks very good.
It does look good. And I've been in there doing my sessions.
You're happy with it, aren't you?
Love it.
Good.
Slightly upset that the people that came at the weekend got mud on the floor in there, but...
Yes, well, I actually did sweep a load of it out for you yesterday.
You did say to me last night, you were like, have you been in the gym today? And I said no, and I bet you were hoping I was going to say no, weren't you?
No, because, I was hoping so, because I thought...
You didn't want me to see the mud.
Well, to be fair, they did put a sheet down, so fair play for doing that, but there was still a lot of dust and mud.
Yeah, I'm going to have to mop it
I did
tomorrow.
sweep it all out for you yesterday. I
I'm going to
thought
mop
she's
it.
going to hit the roof here.
No, don't worry. I'm going to mop it tomorrow. It'll be all right.
Yeah. But I was going to mop it for you tonight, but once again, I've been too busy.
Well, hopefully you can get some calmness in your mind.
No, it will come. It's just one thing at a time. Keep tackling it.
Be worth it in the end.
Yeah, it will. That's what I keep saying. So, how's your mental state? One word.
I'd say skiddly.
Skid, that's not a word.
I know, but I made it up.
Yeah, you
because
can't make words up.
You can. I feel like for mental health, you can make words up.
Right.
So I'd say it's skiddly, which is basically where I'm doing a little action with my fingers.
Like a spider.
I'm just like wiggling my fingers around. Because I feel like my mind is a bit like, it's wiggling around, it's skiddling. It's like sometimes I'm still doing the action because it feels nice. I'm just wiggling my fingers around. Sometimes it's like I'm feeling like, yeah, I'm calm, I'm on top of this, I can do everything. And then the next hour I'm thinking, I can't do everything, I've got too much to do, I don't know what I'm going to do, I can't do this. It's like that, so you know what I mean? It's skiddling around. Why are you laughing about that? Because of the little action I'm doing.
One thing I do love about you,
Yeah.
and I always have done,
Yeah.
it just reminds me every time, if I actually watch you closely.
Yeah.
And Amy's the only person I've ever met that genuinely talks with her hands. Like, if you've ever been to see her do a talk or anything like that, watch her hands and you'll know what I mean. But
but now I'm doing a talk. I'm doing a talk on 2 days.
Yeah, but I love
so
it.
I'm going to be thinking about that.
It's one of the nice things I like about you because it helps you talk.
Yeah.
But I've just been watching you talking about your mental health, and I don't mean to butt in, but you was just like wiggling your fingers, and it just.
When I do my talk on Thursday night, now I'm going to be stood with my hands by my sides. I'm going to be thinking about it.
No.
But yeah, anyway, it's just like up and down. I feel like, I keep getting a bit overwhelmed about everything because I do, even though I've left my job now, so I should have less to do. I feel like I've got more to do, but it's all good stuff. And I think it's just because I feel a bit of pressure about Tour de France. I got sent the Tour de France routes last week. You're still laughing. I know I'm using my fingers. Sorry. I got sent the Tour de France routes last week, so I've got the final plan now, and that took a lot of time. But we'll talk about that in the next podcast.
That went quite smoothly, though, didn't it?
Yeah, it's all done. It took a long time, but it's all good. So yeah, I think I've just got to learn to what I have been doing and what I did today was write a list of everything I needed to do, and then tick it off as I go. Do the most important things first. I remind myself I've always got tomorrow. Do the things I have to do today, and don't put too much on my list because I do tend to put too much on my list.
I think me and you are very similar in that respect.
I find it hard to not do anything.
Me and you are very list people, though.
Yeah, I like a list.
Like, I'm forever writing lists on my notes on my phone. If I go on my phone and look at my notes, I've got so many lists.
I have.
But it's like...
It helps.
And I always write done.
Yeah.
Next to
I always put a tick next to it. I like writing mine on paper. If it's like a list for like things that I need to do like within the month, then it goes on my notes app on my phone.
Yeah.
But if it's like a list on paper, I'll tick it. And then what I will do as well is if I forget something from the list, but I've already done it. So, for example, the list today.
I add it on.
I add it on and then tick it.
Then I'm like, that's another extra thing that I've done.
And then just tick it.
I do that.
But then I get really, I do get easily... I'm not easily distracted if I'm engrossed in something. If I'm engrossed in a task, I won't get distracted. I could be doing something for hours and just be really engrossed in it.
Yeah.
But if I'm in between tasks, I can get really distracted. Like yesterday, I went upstairs to start editing a video. But on the way up the stairs, I noticed a lot of fluff on the stairs. So I started... Sorry, chest putting his bum on me again. I started going up each step one by one and with my fingers scraping all the fluff. And by the time I got to the top of the stairs, it was really disgusting. But I had a big, massive fur ball of Chester's fur. And it probably took me about 15 minutes. And I was literally meant to walk up the stairs to start doing this video or put my phone on charge or something. And I've started scraping the stairs with my fingers. That's the sort of thing I'll do.
You sent me a picture.
I sent a picture to Carl, this is how my day is going today.
Yeah.
Scraping fluff off the floor. But yeah. So, yeah, next time you're feeling low, just think of scraping fluff off the floor. At least you're not wasting your time doing that, because I could have just got the Hoover out and done it in 2 minutes. For some reason, I wasted 20 minutes of my life I'll never get back. Oh, well. Anywho, plans upcoming. Got the Women's Tour of Britain this weekend, so I'm cycling from Derby to Glasgow, because why not? It's my last big ride before Tour de France. I'm doing 125 miles on Friday and 175 miles on Saturday, and then see the finish in Glasgow. The weather forecast is torrential rain all day, every day, so that's going to be fun, and I'm doing it on my own, so hopefully won't won't get any mechanicals or get lost without Kyle.
I'm sure you'd be absolutely fine.
And Kyle, you're doing some building, aren't you?
Yeah, I do plan on doing a long ride on my own as well, but
Yeah.
I've got to prioritise.
You got to stay in for Chester.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I know once all this stuff's out of the way, I'll have a lot more
But after
time.
this weekend, I've only got little rides, so you could do some rides while I'm at home.
Yeah,
But I do need to do my 600 kilometre and 400 kilometre Audax before October. So after Tour de France, I've got to do a 600 and a 400 in August and September. But we'll probably do it together, won't we, Kyle?
Possibly.
Do a 600
Well, 600 usually work separately.
No, together.
Because the dog situation.
Unless we
We've
get your
always
grandma
done
and granddad
600
to have Chester.
separately.
And then the 400 we can do together.
I mean, in fact, we have done a 600 together, actually.
Did we?
One. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we did Scotland, yeah. We could do like a big loop one, stay here and then do something like that. You get 40 hours to do a 600k.
I don't like going home halfway through.
I know
a
I
600.
do because it's hard to get up again. Wait, we'll take the bivvy bags and sleep out somewhere in August.
I've already done a 400.
I know I've not done a 400 or a 600 this year. It's paining me. I was meant to do a 600k this weekend. I was meant to do an Audax, but my coach was saying like it's 3 weeks before Tour de France. It's probably not the best idea to be sleep deprived.
Yeah.
Because it would take a lot of recovery and stuff. So he was like, you're going to have to do your 600 after.
And your
So I'm
quality of
reluctantly
sleep will be
listening and I'm being sensible. And also, like, on a long ride like that, it will exhaust me because I'm the type of person that, on an Audax, they put accommodation on halfway through. But last time I did a 600, I only slept for 2 hours. So it's just not a good idea. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll leave you with the mental health tip. So I have actually, the last podcast we did, I said I was going to try and not go on my phone and within an hour of waking up or within an hour of going to sleep. And I've stuck to it. I've been doing it for like 3 weeks. And it's great. Because I think like sometimes you're just so addicted to your phone, but I feel like I'm sleeping better. I'm getting up in the morning. I'm feeling calmer. I've just got that like hour when I wake up, clean my teeth, wash my face, take Chester out without looking at a screen. And it was hard for the first week because I kept thinking, I want to check my phone. But the messages are still going to be there in an hour's time. So, yeah, it's worked for me. So give it a go. See how you feel. It definitely helps calm my mind. So, yeah. Have you got any tips, Kyle?
Don't put too much pressure on yourself. Don't heap loads of pressure on yourself. I think that can be a really bad thing to do. We all do it. I mean, I do it to myself all the time. But it's better just to try and just get through each thing as it comes.
A healthy level of pressure.
Yeah, I mean, pressure is good, but because pressure makes diamonds. Oh, little saying for me. But not too much pressure.
There's no diamonds being made in that back garden. It's only mud.
No, I'm just building a dream there. I'm building dreams. That's your dream.
Building a mess at the minute.
Wait till you see it finished.
It will be worth it.
Delighted.
I'm only joking.
Yeah. But no, that's the thing I'd say.
Yeah.
That you don't want to heap too much pressure on
Less
yourself.
pressure. That's a good one. Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself, to be fair. And
Try and be sensible.
pressure pushing down on me. Now Chess is looking at us like we've got mad, and I think we have. I'm hungry. We've got fish tonight.
Fish. What,
Not
3 generations
fish
of fish?
and a rice cake.
Oh. I'm
No,
thinking
we've got-
PTK.
We've got bassa.
No.
We're going to put a little bit of spice on there.
No.
We're going to do some wedges in the oven. And probably some peas.
Wedges?
Peas and a
That's
bit of
different.
broccoli. A little bit of broccoli.
No, I like
And
broccoli. That's
maybe
probably one
like
of
a
my
tomato-based sauce with the veg.
favourite. Ugh.
What's wrong with that?
You love a bit of tomato-based sauce,
Would you want to make a sauce?
eh?
What sauce
No, I
would you
do
make
like
then?
tomato-based sauce, but not with veg.
With spicy.
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
put it
you
on the
do that
fish
when
then.
you do, yeah.
But I like mine in my veg, like a bit
I'm
of
a bit of a plain
like
Jane
a bit of
then,
a ratatouille, whatever it's called.
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
Ratatouille.
What is it called? That thing, that red is it like veg with stuff? It's called a ratatouille, isn't it?
A what?
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille?
Yeah.
I think it's called ratatouille.
Oh right. Oh well. I like making up words. Right, we'll leave you with the ratatouille, and we'll see you next time.
Quicker to say, I suppose.
But yeah, next one we'll do Tour de France special, answering questions about that. If you do have any questions,
Send them in.
Send them in to akapodcast@outlook.com. Felt like I was doing an advert then.
I'd say, yeah.
Did
Terms and conditions apply.
Did a little head shake as well. But yeah, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.